Okay, so let's say you're 65 years old, you got $1.4 million in your IRAs. Question is, should you convert to a Roth IRA? Maybe, but this decision could make a lasting impact on your wealth and your legacy. Stay tuned today to find out if you're a candidate. Good day, everybody. Chris Heerlein here with REAP Financial, host of Wealth Radio on News Radio KLBJ, and host of Retire Ready TV on KXAN. That's News Channel 36 right here in Austin. Thanks for tuning into our YouTube channel. If you like today's video, be sure and give us a thumbs up and subscribe down below to stay on top of the latest. Okay, so you're 65, you've got maybe around $1.4 million in traditional IRAs, and maybe you've been tuning in to Wealth Radio or our firm's podcast for many years, and you're going, hey, maybe I should consider some Roth IRAs for this $1.4 million I got. Well, at 65, first thing you need to note is the closer you get to your required minimum distribution age, in many cases, the less advantageous it is to convert to Roth. Why is that? Well, when you convert to Roth, you have to pay taxes on the conversion. So money generally is going to be leaving your bank account or your IRA to go pay Uncle Sam, and a lot of times you may be starting with less in your net worth. So we need years to let that money cook and compound and grow to the point where your net positive after the taxes is going to be gravy. It's all tax-free growth from there. So that's one of the main factors, is looking at your age. The sooner you can get after this, those of you in your 50s, early 60s, the better. Now, another thing to note is the Secure Act 2.0 just passed. That's important because it pushed the required distribution age out to 73. So for all of you born 1951 to 1959, your new RMD age is going to be 73. And get this, for those of you born 1960 and later, your new RMD age will be 75. Now, why am I excited about this? It's because it's buying us time. It's buying you additional years to get monies converted into Roth IRAs, which means when you can stretch it out, you do smaller conversions, which likely means smaller checks on the conversions in taxes to the IRS. So we like that, obviously. So that's one of the first things to look at. Second of all, do you have heirs that you plan on leaving wealth to? Now, many people may leave their IRAs or 401ks to charity, and keep in mind that when you leave money in pre-tax accounts to charity, well, it already goes tax-free to them if it's a qualified 501c3. But when it comes to your children, when it comes to your family or friends, if those are who's set to inherit your wealth, they don't get the same tax-free treatment. So if there's a value to leave money to your heirs, or you know that you're going to leave wealth due to the size of your nest egg today, it may make sense to get some Roth conversions completed. Because here in 2023, taxes are at historic lows, 40-year lows, and we're still grumbling about how high taxes are, right? Well, if you're like me, I believe taxes could be much, much higher in the future. And if that's the case, it may be better to pay taxes now, let that money cook and compound over the years, and then leave it tax-free to your heirs. All that does is magnify your legacy, as more of your wealth isn't going to the IRS come tax time. Lastly, a Social Security consideration. When you convert to Roth, each year you do that, it's going to count as taxable income. So your Social Security claiming, your timing strategy, really wants to coordinate with when and how much of Roth conversion you're doing. Because 85% of your Social Security benefit is taxable for most of you out there. Very few pay little to no tax. So if 85% is going to be taxed at your bracket, and you're taking Social Security and doing large Roth conversions, you may be sending a large portion of your Social Security back to Uncle Sam. So imagine a scenario where maybe you're converting from 65, 66, 67, you're getting some conversions done, and your Social Security sitting standby in the account growing at 8% a year deferred growth. And with historic inflation, it's probably growing even greater than that with these larger cost of living adjustments these days. So in this example, you're getting some conversion work done, your Social Security benefit is growing in deferral, and then maybe about the time you're getting those conversions done, call it 68, 69, or 70, then go and turn on that maximized Social Security benefit. That can make a lot of sense. So never forget your Social Security timing. And just as a little bonus, remember that Roth conversions will count on the bottom line of that 1040, which means you ought to keep in mind your Medicare premiums as well. Never forget, your premiums are dictated by your income, not your net worth. And large Roth conversions may put you in brackets that you're paying much higher Medicare premiums than you need to. So just keep that in mind as well. But listen, if this is resonating and you're wanting to get into the Roth game, you need to get your hands on our updated Roth report for 2023. Email me now, retire@reapfinancial.com. That's retire@reapfinancial.com. My team will have it on its way to your inbox.